Okay, a little background for you. I'm meeting with one of my church members, Lisa Konzelman, and Lisa is an old friend, been in the church for 10 years. She's an attorney and has a, that'll go, has a good practice. She's been ministering here in the church with some of the teenage girls, has already shown through her involvement with the church in projects and also with stuff in the community that there is a little bit of a philanthropist in there. And it happens she stopped by the house for coffee to talk with my wife. And I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to lay Summit University in front of her and then ask her for a gift to our annual fund. So the same sort of thing that we're looking for you to do with somebody you already know some things about, you already know where their heart is, and you are wondering whether or not God would have them get involved with our school. So we're just going to kind of walk our way through this in a conversation and see which way it goes. Well, this worked out really well, Lisa, because I wanted to get a hold of you. Actually, I want to talk to you about something that it may never have crossed your mind that I was thinking about.
Okay.
And let me tell you what the background is. You know that we are Summit University supporters around here.
Yes,
Okay.
we definitely are.
Yeah, and we got youth group kids who've grown up and they've gone through there, and one of the things that I love the most about the ministries God's given me is giving me a chance to be on their board.
Oh,
Okay. And so I'm trying to find ways to strengthen the school.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked at some of the stuff you've done, I began to pray about this, and I thought that I ought to ask you a question after I presented an opportunity to you.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you remember a couple of months ago we talked about how college costs have gone wild.
Oh,
Okay.
it's incredible.
It's incredible.
Oh,
Okay. And, I mentioned the time, I didn't say much about it. I mentioned the time how I felt bad that some kids in our church were heading off to community college, saving a lot of money.
Oh,
But they're not getting what they really need.
no.
They're not getting the equipment to step into some kind of ministry or a career
Mm-hmm.
that honors Jesus Christ. They're just getting a job.
Well, I felt the same way. I mean, here, Rich and I work with them, try to mentor them and encourage them and get them to get in the Word, regular Bible studies. And then they go off, they leave the youth group, and then they go off into an environment where they don't have that same mentoring and teaching. And we just really see a few of them stay close to the church. We see them sometimes on Sunday, but honestly, it's not the same, and that's concerning to us.
Yeah, and it's concerning to all of us, and that's one of the reasons why we love Summit University. If every student there is a Bible major, but it's not just content. They really do a great job. Relationships with teachers and staff members, mentoring. But even the kids who get jobs on campus, they wind up actually being discipled when they're getting the jobs.
That's great.
It is. When I was there for the last board meeting, I asked them, so what do you think the biggest problem is? I talked to Drew Whipple, their enrollment guy.
Okay.
And he said nearly every time a prospective student comes on campus and he takes mom and dad down to the underground cafe for a cup of coffee, every time he says it's a money issue. It's a money issue.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, it does, and we wouldn't have kids going to community college if it wasn't a money issue.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to help strengthen Summit University by getting more people with the right heart and vision involved with them. Okay? And now you've already figured out why we're talking.
Yes. Well, to be honest with you, we've heard about the school. We knew that you were involved. Weren't sure what the extent was as a board member, but you certainly seemed passionate about it. And, we've seen the literature in the lobby and everything about the school. And, it's interesting that Rich and I have been talking, that we give to a number of causes. But lately in some of our conversations, we've been thinking, but what are we getting from that? What are we seeing? What are the results? Do we want to rethink some of that? And so it's interesting that we're talking about this because we've just been talking about it together and what we want to do in the future.
That last board meeting, they had a lunch for us, all the trustees and some of the staff
Uh-huh.
were there, and they had a young guy there who's actually graduated from a seminary, and he's Brazilian.
Huh.
Okay, and he came up. He's worked his way through seminary, scholarships and all, and now he is heading back down to Brazil to go do his internship and pastor down there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay, and then they followed it up with this 19-year-old girl who was so articulate it was scary. Okay, her background. I mean, she actually transferred from a different school.
Okay.
Okay, mom and dad. Well, she's first generation college student. Mom and dad, no college, no money.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And she's plowing her way through school. She wants to be a counselor. She's telling all this. Wants to be a counselor, articulate. And right in the middle of it, she starts to cry, and she's thanking us for the scholarship money we're giving it's getting her through school.
Oh my! That just wow tugs at your heart, doesn't it?
Well, it was. I wasn't sure whether to be happy or sad that I didn't have my checkbook with me right then.
Yeah.
Because she would have got me.
To help her. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, my.
Well, Summit has an annual scholarship fund.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to raise nearly $1 million a year.
Wow.
In order to cut down the cost of college attendance.
Okay.
So kids don't have to say, I've got to go to community college to keep costs down.
Right. Right.
And, honestly, when you look back at the kids who've gone from our church to Summit, I'd like a few dozen more.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think there's a number of students in our youth group that we would love to push a direction of a school. It sounds like a lot of the kind of things you're telling me about Summit are the kind of things that would be a direct carryover to what we're trying to do in the youth group now.
It really is. And so, my commitment as a trustee is that, of course, I give to our church.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But after that, my next larger philanthropic gifts go right to Summit because I want kids like that.
Wow.
To make a difference.
That's a pretty high level of commitment.
It is. And it's one that I'd like you and Rich to consider.
Well, thank you. I'm honored that you would ask us, actually. Let me ask you a question. When you said $1 million in scholarships, does that get distributed among all the students, or do some of them get them, or how do they qualify for that?
Well, every school has a variety of kinds of scholarship funds.
Okay.
But the particular scholarship fund I'm talking about, the Summit Fund, is one that benefits every single student by bringing the cost of their education down.
Wow. Okay.
And
so every student gets a scholarship.
Every student, yeah.
Wow.
When I write a check to the school, I think to myself, every kid gets a piece of this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and it goes to all of them.
Wow.
And you and Rich could be a part of this.
Well, like I said, I'm really honored that you would ask us to consider that. And as I was saying before, we are looking at some of the other causes and nonprofits that we support in the area. Everybody's hitting you up.
That's right.
They want your support, and of course, especially through the law office, we're always getting requests. But I love your commitment to ministry, to a school that really does more than just educate students, but it sounds like it's really impacting their lives.
It is. And from what I teach here at church, that I believe that you're in the ministry. Because you're not just in law to make a name for yourself.
Right.
You're doing this for Jesus Christ. And we've actually, there's students at some university who've left there and gone to law school.
Really?
Yeah. Law school, medical school. All that sort of stuff. So it's a great preparation, a great foundation. And I would like to ask you and Rich to consider this year making a gift to the scholarship fund at Summit University. And when I mentioned $1 million, I wasn't thinking that you'd do all of that.
I wish we could.
and I wish I could. But would you consider whether God would have you make a $2,500 gift?
Oh, well, let me talk to Rich. Let us pray about that and see. That probably sounds in the range of what we might be able to do.
Okay.
But let us talk a little further and pray about that and see what we could do.
Okay.
Do you is there a time or a deadline or
Yeah.
anything that you want to
Well,
hear back
yeah,
from us?
our fiscal year at the school ends on May 31st.
Okay.
If I were to call you in a week,
Sure. That would
okay,
be fine.
yeah, that would work.
That would work
And
well.
you mentioned we have some promo stuff for the school out there, but I wanted you to take
Oh,
this home
thank
with you
you.
just to work through it.
Perfect.
And if after you guys are praying about it, if you have some questions, give me a call,
Okay.
and
Okay.
we'll work this through.
Great.
Because when I was asking God, how would you use me to make the school better for its students, you came to mind.
Well, thank you again.
And
We're
I
honored.
think, I think this is a ministry that you guys could have that would make a difference for forever.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just ask you a question,
Sure.
Jim. Didn't you go to the school?
I did.
Yeah. You know, you hear a lot of things about other schools, and there's changes, and they're changing things they believe or their rules or things. Do you feel like this is still the same school, very similar in what it believes to when you were there?
Yeah, it's one of those same and different things. You know how it is that everything we buy at the store, they change the wrapper on the package,
Yes.
but they don't really change much of what's inside it.
Yes.
And what the school is trying to do is they realize that if God has sent people from there in so many ways, the traditional church ministries and missions and business and all the stuff we listed off. There's 36 different majors there, Lisa.
Oh, that's great.
And
so they're all studying the Bible as well as getting their
something
major.
else, right?
Wow.
And they're taking that. One of the girls who's just a recent graduate, and she's over teaching at a Christian school in China. I didn't know there were Christian schools in China.
No.
And she's having.
They'd be allowed.
No, but they are. And she's having such a great time that she's trying to recruit this year's graduates to come to China.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
The president wrote about this. He showed a PowerPoint in chapel. This girl's traveling all over Southeast Asia. All that travel stuff, plus teaching these kids, Chinese kids, some foreign kids, having a great time with an education degree from Summit University.
Wow.
So, when I look at when I went through school there, it was more like pastors and missions.
Yes.
But now with the way it's changed in God's harvest, it's the same core.
Right.
It's still the Bible major, it's still the discipleship, mentoring, it's all that woven in together. But now with all those different majors,
yes,
a kid can do anything.
That's fantastic.
And it's a great lifetime investment.
And some of the students that are in the youth group are trying to make decisions about what they're going to do. They can't all afford to go to school. Some of them want to go do some community. Some want to go online. Do you offer anything like that at Summit?
Yeah. And of course, online is the big thing you hear about nowadays.
Yeah.
And so when our enrollment people get with a young person, they try to figure out, okay, what makes you tick? Do you really fit a place like this? Okay, well, if you do, then what would it take to get you through a degree?
Okay.
It's not uncommon at all for students to take online courses in high school.
Yes, I've heard of that.
And they they don't go to hardly any school anymore as a freshman with no college.
Yes.
So they're going to come into the semester done or more. Sometimes they stop in and out. I mean, with some of the programs they have at Summit, they actually go overseas for an entire semester.
Oh, wow.
Okay, they're experiencing a different culture. They're with missionaries, but they're doing online education all the time they're there.
Oh, that's
never lose a beat with that.
Is that every major could possibly do that? Or
the only one that couldn't do that would be the education major, because of the limitations the state will put on that. That's true anywhere. But what we want to do at the school, and this is one of the things that's so magical for me as a trustee, is that they want to say, who are you and what's your giftedness and what's it going to take to get you from where you are now to where you need to go.
Okay.
I mean, and so that's why the gift is such a powerful thing. Because those kids are going to go to places that you and I will never get.
No.
And if we can get them there with little or no debt, because we put some money in to cut the cost back for them and benefit the whole student body, we can do that. So as you guys consider this, if God gives you a yes on this, then I'm also going to want to look toward the future, because the story that I told you about that seminary guy and that young woman,
yes,
happened because I was there. One of these times, I think the four of us ought to get in the car and drive up to the school and walk through I'd go to chapel for a day.
Great. We'd love
that. Get a feel of that. Sit in the cafeteria instead of getting a fancy lunch. Sit in the cafeteria with some of those kids.
Meet some of those kids.
Right.
I would love that. I would love that.
See where your gift's going.
Well, it sounds to me like, we give possibly 2,500, but it really feels multiplied. It feels like it's more than 2,500 because of all that they get.
Which is why a few minutes ago I said I wanted to plant a seed. Because when you plant a seed, the top of the grain has a whole lot more seeds in it.
Yes.
and the gifts that we can give make a difference out in God's harvest in places where we'll never get. Because you're developing your practice. Your husband, plant manager. I'm the pastor here.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there.
No.
But we can send people.
Wow.
So.
Thank you so much.
So
I really mean that. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate
I'm glad
that.
to. So I'll call you in a week.
Okay, that
and
sounds
questions
good.
come up
Give
in
me a
between.
chance to
Let me know.
talk to Rich
and let's see what God does.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
I appreciate it.
Well, I'll get out of here so you guys can finish your coffee.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.